my friends, so today we're going to have another delicious taste of Poland. Yes, and today is going to be the Polish soup, and one of my favorites is going to be a veggie soup. And what does it mean, veggie? It's going to be only vegetables? No, not exactly, but if you are a vegetarian, yes, you can do the broth. The base is always a broth, and then the base of the broth can be a vegetable broth. You can homemade. I always tell you to do your own homemade broth because it's the best. You know what it is inside, and you can always make more and save it on the side like I always do. And if you're vegetarian, you can do your own vegetable broth and use that to make the base, and then use this for making another delicious soups. So for today, as of the veggies, you're going to just need a few simple veggies, and for that we use cauliflower, beans, and basically that is it. The most basic veggies, and potatoes. I forgot the potatoes, yes. And those basic vegetables are used throughout the, I would say, year, but mostly during, like, after the harvest. In Poland, unfortunately, we do not have beans or cauliflower throughout the year. Maybe right now it's easier to get it from outside, but because of the 4 seasons, they are mostly around the harvest time. And a lot of people like put their stuff into the freezer and have them available throughout the year, or they can can them too, put them in jars and jar them and save them on the side, and they are perfectly good for anything that you want to cook with. So let's get to it. Also, I am going to show you one more time how I do the base for any soups I do, just to refresh you, because that was a long time ago done episode, but to refresh you, to show you step by step what I do, why I do that. And at any point you can comment me of any questions that you want, if it's about the current food that I'm doing, or any other foods or any other questions that you might want to know. I will gladly answer them. And also in the description there is my email. You can also email me, and I will try to my best knowledge give you the correct answer. Let's get to the food. When it's coming to a base of the soup, I always use 3 kinds of meats. And my meat is very simple. I usually try to find any piece of the turkey and any piece of the beef, but lately I found out that beef oxtail, it is such a good piece of meat. And also the third piece of meat is chicken. So for today's meals I am going to use a chicken thigh, and it's with the bone. It doesn't matter if it's with the bone, it will give you even more flavor when it's with the bone. I have also the turkey neck, and of course the beef oxtail. And all of that meat, I am not going to put it in a pot that I'm going to cook the soup. No. All of that meat goes to the pot where I'm going to pre-cook the meat. I always pre-cook the meat because all of the bad stuff that comes out from the meat, I am removing it, washing the meat, and then I'm putting it into the correct pot where there is water already warm for cooking the correct soup. And during this whole process I'm going to show you step by step. So at the same time I want to show you my new collection of pots. This is from Green Pen. Thank you so much, Green Pen, for sponsoring this video. And for my viewers, the green pen is giving you a code for 25% off, and it's going to be WhatsApp Polish Sister 25. Just go in the link in the description, and in that link in the description you're going to have also the code written, WhatsApp Polish Sister 25. Alright, let me start putting them in the pan, pre-cooking them, and having the second pan full of water and having a delicious soup ready. Okay, so here is the pot with just the meat, and I'm just going to cook it until it starts boiling and all the bad stuff are going to come out of the meat. And then I'm going to take it under the sink, wash it under the fresh running water, and then when this is all clean, I'm going to drop that to this water that is going to be by the time nice and hot. So very simple. I know you might have a questions. What if I remove the best taste of that meat if I pre-cook it and wash it? No, you're not. This meat is just pre-cooked. It's not cooked throughout. It's still fresh inside. It just have all the bad stuff removed, and the best taste is going to be left in this pot. While the rest is cooking, I'm going to prepare all the veggies. This way I can only put it in the soup and everything is ready. I don't have to waste my time by cooking it and doing everything one by one and rushing through when the soup is ready for all the veggies. So let's get to it. So like I said, cauliflower, it's going to be number one, and beans. So the issue is, okay, cauliflower, beans, they are two different veggies, two different ways of cooking. Same with potatoes. So by doing that soup, there is a trick. Every time you cook a veggie soup, you need to remember which veggies are cooking faster, which veggies are cooking slower. You cannot just toss everything at the same time in a pan and deal done. No, because if you toss cauliflower together with potatoes, cauliflower is going to be mushed and you're not going to even taste it. Maybe you like the mushed things, but Polish soups are usually not creamy. We always have a texture in the soup. They're not creamy soups. Maybe right now, yes, right now they are making the creamy soups, but before they were not popular in Poland. So when it's coming to veggies, first you need to put potatoes, then you need to put beans, and then on the end you are putting cauliflower. This way nothing is going to be mushed, everything is going to have their own texture, and it's not going to be overcooked or undercooked. So let's get ready those veggies, and I'm going to keep them in like a container in the water, so they're not going to get bad and they're going to be fresh to cook when the soup is ready. So first I'm going to cut the veggies for the base. I'm going to use one of my new collection knife. I'm going to link that in description. It's such an amazing sharp knife. So this is leek. I always use leek in my veggies. Just going to cut those ends that I don't want, and make sure that you wash your leek. It is very dirty, so I'm just going to run under the cold water, and I already have the container ready for that. The next thing is going to be a celery root. I'm going to use all the green parts of it too. If it's coming to celery root, smells so good. Do not toast the whole thing. So the green parts are pretty strong, like you know, you all use celery in your soup salads, but not too many of you guys knows the celery root. So celery root is much stronger than the green part. So use it with cautions, because you don't want to have a celery root. It's good, but it's too strong. So I'm going to use like quarter, maybe 1/3 of that. Yeah, something like this. Not the whole thing, and not the half of it. Just a little bit less than half. All right. Okay, that kind of piece. And now I need to take off that skin. Okay. Next thing is going to be a parsnip and carrots. I'm going to use like maybe a little bit bigger. I'm going to use this one. Okay, and now the carrots. And how many carrots? Two, yeah, 3 like this. I don't want too much because I don't want the soup too sweet. Carrots always give the sweetness to the soup. Just want to show you. So the water is cooking, and this is our meat, and all of this would be in our soup if I wouldn't be cooking it in a separate pot. So now it is time to take this off, wash it, and put it back in here. Alright, all that washed meat goes back to the main pot where the soup is going to be. Done. Now I'm just going to wait a little bit until all of that starts cooking again, and a little bit still might come out, but it's not going to be as dirty as that first pot. So now we just have to wait until the water starts boiling. If I see anything more coming out, I'm just going to collect that, but it's not going to be too much. And then I'm going to add salt, pepper, celery root, all the celery, green parts of the celery, parsnip, and the leek. And all of that is going to cook slowly, the best few hours. And also to that I'm going to add onion, but I'm going to show you what I do with my onion. Simple. And you're going to say, I know you're going to have a question, what about the carrot? I'm not going to add the carrots yet because I'm going to cut them in little squares, and I'm going to add them almost when I'm ready to put everything else, because I do not want them to be too mushy. And that's it. The best Polish soup base is cooked for a long time, and it cannot be cooked in a very hot temperatures. It has to, when the water starts boiling, when the meat is in there, you need to leave it to simmer. And that is the best Polish base for any soups. This is why the Polish soups are clear. When you look through the glass onto the soup, you're going to see the other end of the room, because that soup is cooked for a long time, simmering, and it gives all the best from all the veggies and all the meat. And the best way to do that soup base is day before, and the next day to add all the veggies. And probably this is what I'm going to do, because it's right now 4 o'clock. A little bit too late. So today is going to be just the base done. Tomorrow morning I will finish the rest, and I'm going to have a delicious veggie soup the Polish way. Okay, so the water was boiling, so I just want to show you only this much came out. So I'm not sure even if you can see, it's like a whitish thing. I'm just going to collect it, and the soup it's going to be clear. And now I have a soup that is just simmering. It is not even on a high temperature. All right, all good. Just going to raise a little bit more temperature because it's not enough. So what I'm going to add to my soup: small bay leaf, just 1 medium allspice, salt, and pepper, and the veggies, except the carrots. Okay, here we go. So, leek, parsnip, celery root, and the green parts of the celery root. And that's it for right now. And the last thing to the base of the broth I'm going to add is the onion, but not just any onion. In Poland, we call it that we are burning, smoking, depends on the name, the onion. So basically you're supposed to put on the fire and make that onion almost burnt, and that onion goes into the soup. Unfortunately, I do not have a gas stove, so I came up with a different idea. I just put the sliced onions on very hot pan, and I fried that on that pan, but there is no oil, just a dry, very hot pan. I had designated pan for that, that I only fried this onion. I don't know what I did with that pan. I treasure that pan. Even it looked like really burnt out pan. I thought that maybe my husband toasted, but I asked him. He did not, so I guess I have to clean up the place where I have all my pans and pots and find that pan, because that was the very crucial pan for me making my broths, and I am devastated because I don't want to destroy another pan, and that pan was the perfect pan making those onions. So let me use different pan for it, but that step is crucial, and you're going to have the best ever soup base for any soup you want. Okay, and I am just going to use that big onion because I don't need the biggest one. Okay, I am not going to cut this onion in half because I need that onion whole, so I'm just going to peel it, the outside layers. Okay, and I am just going to slice that onion in that kind of thick slices. Yeah, I think 4 slices like this should be good. All right. I just don't like that top layer of this one. All right. I'm just going to preheat this pan to the highest temperature I can. There's going to be one more thing that I'm going to add. It is garlic, just 1 medium size. This one is going to be all like very big. I just don't want that big ones like this. Let's see. Which one is smaller? Maybe a little bit smaller.